Chapter 88. Right then and there, Alfred took a metal rod out and approached Dupe. Although the latter tried to beg for his life, Alfred did not hesitate to raise the metal rod above his head and swing it down at a great speed. Crack! Dupe's right kneecap was smashed into pieces instantly. Such a comminuted fracture was almost impossible to recover from. Dupe yelped in pain, but Alex did not stop there. "We're not quite done yet. We have only broken one leg, he would still be able to limp with the other. I want him crippled forever." Alfred nodded and raised the metal rod once more, and in no time, another loud crack came from Dupe's left knee. Dupe rolled on the floor, screaming for help, his body about to go into shock. Don Stephen barked out an order. Alfred shoved something into his mouth. "His loud whining is going to annoy Mr. Anderson." "Yes, Don Stephen," Alfred complied and shoved a few pieces of gauze pads into Dupe's mouth as the latter was already curled up into a ball on the ground. Stanley's face was pale white as he kneeled to the ground and groveled. "Alex. No, I mean, Mr. Anderson. I was wrong. I shouldn't have let my stupid mouth run, please forgive me." Scarlett was scared to death as well. As soon as Stanley started begging for his life, she immediately got on her knees and apologized profusely as well. However, Alex merely scoffed. "Do you really think that begging is going to do you any good? You guys are just so cute." The two of them were frightened to the core. Suddenly, a few men dressed in black entered the room as well, bringing along with them two middle-aged men who had been tied up. The two middle-aged men looked as though they were just one step away from hell. As the men in black flung them onto the floor, they bowed to Alex and said, "Mr. Anderson, we've brought who you've asked for." Stanley and Scarlett almost fainted at the sight of this. The two middle-aged men were none other than their fathers, John and Henry Lord Johnson. Alex took a bucket of cold water and dumped it over their heads. Once they had recovered their consciousness, Alex then questioned Henry Lord. "Mr. Johnson, were you aware that your daughter was being a whore and that she was cheating on her fiancé?" Henry Lord was terrified. Having been beaten up just a while ago, he knew that his daughter had gotten into trouble. To protect himself, he shook his head. I didn't know. Alex nodded. "You didn't know? Then, isn't that your fault as a father? Alfred, break his left kneecap. Just like what you did to that other son of a bitch." "Understood." Alfred immediately turned to his men. "Hold him down." Henry Lord cried out of fear, "No! Someone please help me!" Scarlett screamed for him as well. "Dad!" However, without faltering, Alfred smashed Henry Lord's kneecap as soon as he had been held down. Henry Lord would have rather died a swift death. Instead, his kneecap had been shattered. It was impossible for him to heal from this. Alex then repeated his question. "Let me ask you again, were you aware that your daughter was being a whore and that she was cheating on her fiancé?" Henry Lord sobbed uncontrollably. "I was aware, I was. It's my fault, I'll be sure to discipline her from now on." Alex huffed. "So you did know? In that case, why didn't you stop her? You knew that your daughter had caused trouble and yet, you didn't do anything. Doesn't that show how big of a failure you are as a father?" He then ordered Alfred, cripple his other leg.